Hi friends, I'm Chelsea and I'm here with my October TBR. So you may notice I'm in a different spot. You may have seen my community post. So I'm currently not at home because Hurricane Helene hit Asheville, North Carolina, where me and my family live. Our apartment is okay, but we lost water, power, self-service, running low on food and water and all that. And so we were able to get out. We're staying with family in a different spot for a bit. We might be gone for a while. I don't really know how long. And yeah, I can't even really talk about it without getting emotional. It's just absolutely devastating for Western North Carolina and other states as well, Tennessee, South Carolina, Florida. I don't really want to talk much about it here, but this is where we're at right now. I'm going to be in a different spot for a little bit. I don't have a lot of books with me, and I don't know how much reading I will be getting done because of all this, but I do want to keep making videos and reading when I can. I'm also going to post some links in the descriptions of ways that you can help Western North Carolina in the aftermath of this devastating hurricane, different ways you can donate and help if you would like to do that. So yeah, thanks for being here. Thanks for bearing with me as my setup is a little different and we're just kind of winging it. You might hear some noises in the background, but here we are. So I literally only brought 5 books with me, and I actually just bought 2 books just so I would have a couple extras. I have my Libby app and my Everand app for audiobooks and ebooks. That is it. Those are all the books I have with me for the next couple weeks or month. I don't really know how long. I thought instead of doing my typical TBR jar prompts, because I don't have my TBR jar with me, I would do a spinner wheel and just put all the books on there that I have physically and then books on my audiobook apps as well. So that way I still have a bit of a TBR game for the month of October, but I got to make it work for what's going on in my life right now. So I do have just a random app with the wheel. Hopefully you can see this. I tried to figure out how to screen record on my phone and I don't know how, so you're going to see my phone and it might be backwards. So I put 12 books on there and I put all the books that I have physically with me right now. I'll show you the books that I have currently with me. These are books I just grabbed in a panic because I didn't have much time to pack when we left, and books I knew I wanted to read this month, or just trying to get a different variety of books too. So I have One Dark Window, Can't Spell Treason Without T. These 2 I just picked up from an antique store where I'm staying currently. So one of them is Local Woman Missing. They're both thrillers, I guess, and Recursion. So I have a couple fantasy, couple thrillers, and then my other books are up here. I have another fantasy, which is Warbreaker. I have a romance, which is You Again, and another romance, I guess, dark romance, Butcher and Blackbird. I meant to grab Beartown by Frederick Bachman. I really wanted to grab that because I'm probably reading it this month, but I forgot. But I do have the audiobook for that, so hopefully I can listen to that this month. So yeah, that's what we're working with here. Like I said, I have my audiobooks and ebooks. I've already read 1 book this month, and that is The Storied Life of A.J. Fikry. Really enjoyed it. I didn't grab the book, but I got the audiobook and the ebook on my Libby app, so very grateful for the library. So I have those on my spinner wheel, all these physical books here. I also have Beartown, like I said, I have the audiobook. I have Where the Dark Stands Still. I have the audiobook for that. And I have Vampires of El Norte audiobook, Dracula, and The Spell Shop. So all of those are audiobooks that I have in some capacity. So I thought I would maybe do like 5 spins because I don't know how much reading I'll get done this month. It's weird because I have more time than ever because I'm unable to work because I'm not home. But I just feel like mentally reading has been hit or miss, and it's also, we're having a lot more family time, which is great, but things are just kind of weird right now. So I'm going to keep it flexible, probably just do 5 spins. I do have some buddy reads planned for the month, and I'm hoping that those will get spun. Otherwise, I'll just add those and see how it goes. So yeah, I'm going to do my first spin for my October TBR, and I'll try to show you. Hopefully you can see it. I've already shuffled all of them, so okay. Here's our first spin for October. And you'll see before me, I guess. What is it? Can't spell treason without T. Okay, very fun. So this one actually I have acquired recently. Love this situation here, and actually got this on my anniversary weekend trip with my husband at the beginning of the month. We went to a bookstore and we picked out a book for each other, and he picked this one for me because he knows I love cozy fantasy, and I might have pointed to it in the store and been like, ooh, I really want this book. And so he was listening. And this one is a cozy fantasy steeped with love. This one feels like Legends and Lattes, but the tea version. I think there's a sapphic romance. There's obviously some magic going on. I think the two main characters, they want to open a bookshop that serves tea, but something bad happens in their city, and one of them is taken hostage. Together they kind of escape, and they settle in this town near Dragon Country and open the shop of their dreams. What happens next is a cozy tale of mishaps, mysteries, and a murderous queen throwing the realm's biggest temper tantrum, while these two women discover just what they mean to each other and the world. So, sounds lovely. Sounds like something I need in my life right now. And so, yeah, definitely excited to pick this one up, hopefully soon. Okay, here's our next spin. This is fun. I've never done this, but it's kind of a fun way to change up the TBR game. What will it be? Local woman missing. Okay, I just picked this one up, and that's good. Maybe a thriller will be something good to kind of get me hooked on a book and be able to focus. I think I also have the audiobook for this one, so I always love that when I can read the physical book and listen to the audiobook as well. So this one has been on my radar for a while. I don't really know much about it. I think it's about women who go missing based on the title. And so this says, Shelby Tebow is the first to go missing. Then Meredith Dickey and her 6-year-old daughter Delilah vanish just blocks away from where Shelby was last seen, striking fear into their once peaceful community. After an elusive search that yields more questions than answers, the case eventually goes cold. 7 years later, Delilah returns. They want to know what happened, and the truth comes out and all that. So seems like maybe a time jump situation. Hopefully I'll be able to pick that one up, and like I said, listen to the audiobook as well if I'm not able to sit down and read a whole lot. And I just realized I didn't delete these books that I just picked from the spinner wheel, so I'm going to do that real quick. Okay, ready for spin number 3. Hopefully some of these buddy reads get picked because so far none of them have gotten picked. Okay, here is spin number 3, hoping for one of my buddy reads to get chosen. The Spell Shop, not a buddy read. That's always how it goes. Okay, I don't have this one physically with me. I do have it back home. And funny story, I started this one in September. I didn't get very far. I was liking it, but I just could not focus. I had the audiobook, and then Everand restricted me for some reason. They do that if you've listened to too many books by the end of the month. So I only had the physical book. I just put it down because I kept getting distracted and just putting the book down every chapter. And like I said, I was liking it, but I just couldn't focus. So I think maybe now that I have the audiobook again, I'll be able to just listen to that a little easier. It is another cozy fantasy, so I don't know if I'll be feeling two cozy fantasies this month, because The Spell Shop it's about a girl who is a librarian. She also has to flee her town actually, and she goes to this island where she grew up pretty much, and she decides to open a jam shop that is also a spell shop in disguise. Similar kind of feel to Can't Spell Treason Without Tea, some different things going on. There is a romance there too, and she has a friend who is a talking plant, so that's kind of fun. So we'll see if I can get back into that one. Maybe I'll only read one of these two cozy fantasies. We'll see what happens from there. But here is spin number 4. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, spin number 4. And I might do 6 spins if I don't get my buddy reads, or I'll just add those on too. So here's spin number 4. The suspense is building. Oh, okay, The Spell Shop again. Whoops, I forgot to remove it. Rookie mistake. Just kidding. Let's do that again. Spin number 4 again. Gotta move this closer. Okay, another one that's not a buddy read. I do want to read this one though. I don't have the audiobook, so we'll see if I can mentally focus on it. But that is Butcher and Blackbird by Bryn Weaver, a dark serial killer romance. Definitely like a viral TikTok, book talk kind of book that I've been curious about. Kind of scared of, like I've mentioned in the past, because of all the like content warnings at the beginning. I've heard that maybe it's not so bad, or maybe it will be. I don't know, but I'm very curious. So yeah, two friends to lovers, serial killers who kill serial killers. They have a romance here. It says full of murder, chaos, and sizzling chemistry. So this could be a fun one, just an easy one to get my mind off of things. Definitely want to see what the hype is all about. Now I'm going to remove it from the list so it doesn't show up again, hoping for these buddy reads to show up because this is a lot of books on the TBR that I am not already planning to read. So, okay, here's the 5th spin, and we shall see what the wheel tells us. Beartown. Okay, cool. This is not a buddy read, but it is a book that I was definitely planning to read this month because it's the pick for Ellen Made Book Club. She always picks a book or 3 for each month to read, and this will be a reread for me. I've mentioned it before. I read this book a couple years ago, loved it, gave it 5 stars, and Ellen picked this book for October, and so I'll be reading that, listening to the audiobook. Again, I wish I grabbed the physical book, but I did not. So we're going with the audiobook. I am very excited to get back into that one. This is just a literary fiction set in a small town in Sweden, I believe, and it's kind of a hockey town. Like there's not a lot going on, but they have this hockey team that everyone is just really all in on. But some darker stuff happens in the town that kind of shakes things up and makes people reevaluate what they believe and who they trust. There's a lot that I don't want to spoil, but it's a heavy-hitting emotional book, but so good. So I'm really excited to reread that one this month and then continue the series throughout the fall. Okay, I'm going to do one more spin and see if one of my other buddy reads gets picked. If not, then I'm going to stop it right here because that's just going to get out of control. So I guess this is spin number 6. And we'll see. Warbreaker. Yay, wonderful. One of my buddy reads. Okay, I'm happy about that. So yes, Warbreaker by Brandon Sanderson. I will be buddy reading this with Cindy from Snacks and Stacks. I'll link her channel down below. We both have been reading Brandon Sanderson here and there. Well, I've been reading a lot of Brandon Sanderson. She's been reading some as well and have been wanting to read this book. So we decided to read it together this month. This one is in the Cosmere, but not in the Stormlight Archive or any other series. It's just a standalone. It's shorter than some of the Stormlight Archive. It's under 700 pages. So, you know, that's almost half as short as the other books. I do have the audiobook for this one too, which is great because yeah, there's no way I'm going to be able to just read a 700-page book without the audiobook. And it's an epic fantasy. I don't even know what it's about. On the front here it says, an exceptional tale of magic, mystery, and the politics of divinity. A powerful standalone tale of unpredictable loyalties, dark intrigue, and dangerous magic. I'm excited to read it. Hope to get to that very soon. I'm waiting for my audiobook. So the other 2 buddy reads that I am planning to do this month are One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. I will be buddy reading this with Shuba from Shuba Reads Books. And this is a young adult gothic fantasy romance. I've been saving it for fall and figured October would be a great time to read it. Very excited to get to this one. I do not have the audiobook, but hoping that the physical book will hook me and that I'll be able to read it quickly. And then the other buddy read I'm planning on is Vampires of El Norte by Isabel Cañas. I'll be reading this one with Melanie from Dark Corner of the Library. Also waiting on the audiobook for that one, so might be later in the month. All I know is that it's a supernatural Western, I think, and vampires are involved. I think it might be historical, set in Mexico. Seems like a good fall time book. I do want to read Dracula as well. We'll see if I can fit that into this month. If not October, then maybe November. That is my October TBR. I'm going to be flexible and gracious to myself and not putting a lot of reading pressure on myself during this kind of crazy time in my life. These books may or may not get read this month, but I am hoping to get to at least half of them, and we'll see where it goes from there. So just a quick little recap for my October TBR. We have Can't Spell Treason Without Tea by Rebecca Thorne, Local Woman Missing by Mary Kubica, One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig, Butcher and Blackbird by Bryn Weaver, Warbreaker by Brandon Sanderson, and then, see if I remember, Beartown by Frederick Bachman, The Spell Shop by, can't remember, Sarah Beth Durst, I think is the author, and then Vampires of El Norte by Isabel Cañas. My brain is kind of crazy these days, so I'm glad I remembered those titles and authors. Again, we will see how the month goes, but I am definitely planning to keep reading when I can. It's such a great way to escape, and especially during this time, I think it's going to be something that I need to continue to do just to kind of get my mind off of things and to continue to relax and rest. So definitely excited to get to as many of these books as I can. Let me know what you're hoping to read in October, if you've read any of these books or if any of them are on your TBR. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video, whenever that is. Bye!